Welcome to this tape on White Tiger's Flying Phoenix Heavenly Qi materialization levels 1 and 2 combined. Now let me clarify something. This has nothing to do with the Flying Phoenix Heavenly Qi meditations, Qigong, that you've seen advertised, okay, from other sources. This is the Flying Phoenix Heavenly Qi materialization, a total different level. And let me tell you something about the Qi materialization. Now, those of you who have been reading martial art magazines over the years, you'll remember that I wrote an article on the string break, breaking a coconut on the string in midair, in the March 1990 issue of Taekwondo Times. In that issue, back in 1990, for the first time, I shared a photo of my teacher doing the Qi materialization. Now, if you look at this photo, you will see vapors rising from the Great Grandmaster's hand. So in other words, it's one thing to talk about Qi, it's another thing to be able to show Qi materialize as a vapor. Now let me explain how I came about this technique. The Grandmaster wanted me to specialize in the iron palm, so I've specialized in the iron palm. However, one of the most profound things, the most profound thing that I've ever seen in my entire life was the Grandmaster show me the technique that Fundo Duck traded to get the coconut break, the hidden art of all Kung Fu. And the technique he traded to that tribe in the Taklamakan Desert was the Flying Phoenix Heavenly Qi for the coconut break levels. When I saw the Qi materialization for the first time, the Grandmaster would rub it out of his hands like this. He would just rub his hands like this, and smoke-like vapors would rise from his hand. Now, being a Western mind, almost a stoic and a cynic, if you will, and scientifically oriented, I thought there had to be some kind of, it would be impossible. It was impossible for my mind to understand. But then again, I never thought I could break a coconut on the ground or in the midair on a string or in my palm. So I had an open mind, but it was unbelievable to me when I would see this. And then it would glow in the dark when he would show me. And he showed me many things, bringing bugs back to life after he had drowned them and smoked them to death and stick pins in them, and he'd bring them back to life with his waving Qi. And I have that all documented on videotape. And I've seen it live, and I've seen this live, and I have it documented on videotape. Yes, I could see the Grandmaster moving paper inside enclosed containers, moving it forward, drawing it backward, spinning the paper inside 2 plastic cups that were taped with a fan on so that no air could get there. He had a mask on, no way, and I saw this myself. But the most profound thing, and this includes, I've seen the Grandmaster hit a coconut off the, when Debbie would hold the coconut like this, he'd hit it and just break it in half with a side chop. Okay, so I've seen many amazing things. But the most amazing thing I think I've ever seen was when I'd asked the Grandmaster, look, why does it do this? You know, and he said, this is the Flying Phoenix Heavenly Qi materialization levels, and there are different levels. The first is to rub it out, the second is to grunt it out. Okay, and then it appears all over your body. You can let it out, and it glows in the dark. And these are the different levels. I've only been exposed to levels 1 and 2, and I received the training on how to do it, 3 different varieties of the training. But I always thought, gosh, if you do this, there must be some kind of herbs on his hand, and he must be heating up his fingers, and it must be causing the smoke. So he'd wash his hands with soap and water and scrub them and do the same thing. Then I'd say, Grandmaster, can you just grunt it out of your hand? And he would grunt it out of his hand without rubbing the fingers. So here again, my Western mind, well, if he had chemicals on there and he's just grunting it out, he must be developing a tremendous amount of heat on the hands to even ignite the chemical. And here again, it wasn't a trick. This is just how the Western mind and other people's Western mind viewing this is how they think. So the final thing for me, I went into prayer and I said, How could I see this thing in such a manner to where there would be no question about it? I asked him if he could show me my chi. And he placed his hand this far above my hand, and he literally pulled the tuft of chi that you're seeing coming out of this hand here out of the back of my hand. When I saw that, I called 39 News, investigative news reporter Bob Lawrence, a good friend of mine from NBC affiliate in San Diego. I said, you've got to come out to my house and meet with me and Vince Peppers, who had lived with the Grandmaster for 12 years, former chief instructor of the White Tiger system, who witnessed all my 10 years training with the Grandmaster. And my Baishi closed-door discipleship is all on video, okay? He came to my house, Bob Lawrence came to my house, and I had my student George Michael Newman, who inherited the Bak Fu Pai White Tiger Deuce family Bak Mei, the purest version of Bak Mei, directly from Bak Mei's teacher Fundo Duck, White Tiger founder Fundo Duck. I had him there filming the NBC camera crew, filming the Grand Master. So the Grand Master took Bob Lawrence, and I have this all on video, took him in, and showed him this one, washed his hands, showed him the grunting out, and then I said, could you show Bob Lawrence his own chi? Can you pull it out of his hand? Now, he was very tired. He was under a lot of pressure. It was spontaneous, spur of the moment. But then, many times in spur of the moment, he would put me on the spot and say, Jim, break a coconut on the palm. And 2 times, without warning, and on the spot, I did it, and there were witnesses. Vince Peppers, Kevin Rones, others. George Michael Newman, and others, okay? So, in a very impromptu thing, he held his hand over Bob Lawrence's hand, and waited, and sure enough, at the end, a tuft of smoke came up. Everybody saw it. I have it on video. They didn't film it because it was too controversial. Tommy Turcotte is my Florida rep. He's one of the most special people I've ever seen in the martial arts. He moves like I've never seen. He's a true martial artist, studied in Shanghai. He's the wizard, as you've seen on these other tapes. I decided to let Tommy Turcotte specialize in this technique and the fire palm. This technique here, though, is not like any other, and I'm going to have Tommy come out and share this on a Panther tape. Remember, secrets do not advance ethics. Everything I inherited will go in the Library of Congress, and the best of the best will go with Panther, and we will focus on iron palm because that is my specialty. But this chi materialization, like I said, is the most fantastic thing. After 6 months, people around you will feel your chi like you wouldn't believe. You will feel results with this right away. Tommy's going to share the procedure and how to do it and show you how to do it. I'm just giving you a little intro, and I thought I would show you the documentation of this. If you have any more questions on this, just give me a call. I'll be glad to talk to you about it. The Urantia book has already talked about self-igniting and the chi when you leave. It exits through it's so many ounces. So we have a lot more to go on this. But for right now, I would like to introduce Master Tommy Turcotte, our Florida rep, and he will take you through this form, and the camera will get all the different angles, and I hope you have a lot of fun learning this. Make sure you do the diet. Make sure you use the Dit Dao Jiao, and good luck in your training. And thank you.
The flying heavenly chi materialization meditation should be done at a very, very slow pace. You must memorize all the breath combinations. This is very, very important to get the desired results. The Grand Master said you must practice it from 3 to 10 years to get the materialization. As Jim stated, the first level, you rub it out. The second level, you grunt it out. So the main thing, first learn all the postures, all the movements with your eyes open, and then you do the whole meditation with your eyes closed. So I'm going to perform the first part of the meditation with the breathing sequences that Jim is going to give first, and I'm going to perform the movements very slowly for you so you can copy off the tape. The diet should consist of mostly vegetables, tofu, which acts as protein for the body. You have a lot of tofu and vegetables, a lot of soups, a natural diet. Not too much meat or heavy substances, grease, oils, things of that nature. Alcohol is forbidden during this practice. You should have meat, if you desire, once a week, and that should be the limit of that. I practice personally about 30 minutes to 45 minutes at this time every day at the same time. After you get used to it, you should sit a little longer, for about 1 hour. So this takes a long discipline. You must be patient to get the desired results. This is not easy. It's very esoteric. So here we go.
Okay, one more thing on this. Remember that after about 6 months, people will be able to feel your qi from a distance, according to tradition. And whether you ever accomplish the qi materialization itself, make no mistake that your qi will be enhanced. This is one of the highest levels of Qigong ever let out in history. We're proud to perform it with Panther. Now, Tommy will take 1 breath to start. Then he'll take a breath and let 50% out. Take a full breath from that point and let it all out. Take another breath. Let 10% out. Take a full breath from that point and let it all out. Breathe normal for 5 minutes before you start these moves here. Okay, now, at this point, you take another breath and let it all out. Then take a breath, let 50% out. Take a full breath from that point and let it all out. Take a breath, let 90% out. Take a full breath from that point and let it all out. Take a breath. Let 50% out. Take a full breath from that point and let it all out. Take a breath. Let 20% out. Take a full breath from that point and let it all out. Breathe normal for 5 minutes and then go into the next sequence that Tommy's about to do. Make sure you take the 5 minutes. We're speeding it up here. Okay, now we're going into the next sequence. Remember, we're doing this a little faster. You spend 5 minutes on the moves and 5 minutes minimum on the breath control, and like Tommy said, stretch it out to an hour after a while. Okay, this one here, take a breath to start. Take a nut and let it all out. And then take a breath and let 50% out. Take a full breath from that point and let it all out. Take a breath and let 5% out. Take a full breath from that point and let it all out. Take a breath and let 10% out. Take a full breath from that point and let it all out. Take a breath and let 50% out. Take a full breath from that point and let it all out. Take a breath, let 90% out. Take a full breath from that point and let it all out. Now you would normally hold that posture for a good long time, 5 minutes minimum, and then go into these next moves here for at least another 5 minutes minimum, and then work up to even longer. Okay, now for the final breath control sequence to this level 1 and 2. From there you take 3 full breaths. To start. Then take a deep breath and let 50% out. Take a full breath from that point and let it all out. Take a breath and let 10% out. Take a full breath from that point and let it all the way out. Take a breath and let 5% out. Take a full breath from that point and let it all the way out. Take a breath. Let 20% out. Take a full breath from that point And let it all the way out. Take a breath. Let 30% out. Take a full breath from that point. And let it all the way out. Take a breath. Let 5% out. Take a full breath from that point. And let it all the way out. Take a breath. Let 80% out. Take a full breath from that point. And let it all the way out. Take a breath. Let 70% out. Take a full breath from that point. And let it all the way out. Then you would hold that for another 5 minutes. We're going to speed it up for the camera. And then you would do this next set of sequence of moves for at least another 5, even 10 minutes as you progress. Make sure you do not open your eyes until you take a good, at least 3 nice, even, relaxed breaths. Absorb all the healing benefits before you open your eyes. I hope you've enjoyed this tape on the White Tiger's Flying Phoenix Heavenly Qi Materialization levels 1 and 2 combined. These rare levels were specially put together for me over 7 or 8 years ago, before it was ever even popular or anybody even knew what it was. And I have 3 different versions of level 1 and 2 combined. And I'm going to give them all to Tommy to share with Panther because I want this to be his specialty. Just remember to use Dit Da Jiao on your hands before and after you do the meditation for better results. Now, as far as the formulas go, get the Panther tape on our DIMMAC formulas because we covered some excellent all-purpose Dit Da Jiao formulas. We broke down every herb, and you have the formula in the monk's handwriting. Make sure you use the diet. Make sure you do it at the same time. And remember, in modern times, you can't always do it exactly like the tradition. Maybe you don't have an hour a day. If you were to do this even 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 minutes a day, you would notice fantastic results. So again, I hope you enjoy this Qigong. There are different types of Qigong: Buddhist, Taoist, medical. But this is the finest martial. And all of those movements that Tommy was doing are fighting moves. On future tapes, when Tommy breaks down the other types of meds that go with this training, we'll show you some of the fighting moves in here. But it's all fighting moves on this Qigong. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed it. Remember, you can get the herbs on our herb tape. Practice the diet. Try to do it at the same time every day. And for you chiropractors, acupuncturists, people that work with your hands for healing, this would be the ultimate Qigong for you to start doing so that you can transfer that energy into your patients. Remember, Kung Fu is for health first, self-defense second. So all of this Qigong is for health first and self-defense second. The power in your strikes will be incredible, but also incredible will be your healing techniques. Those of you that do Reiki or acupuncture, inserting the needles with more sensitivity. So again, thank you, and we hope you've enjoyed this never before let out White Tiger, Flying Phoenix, Heavenly Chi Materialization, level 1 and 2 combined. Like I said, the Grandmaster combined 2 levels and made up this special training for me. And there's 2 other sections of it. We will let Tommy let this out with Panther in future tapes. God bless you and thank you.